What do you think global warming is?
It is the warming of the earth, emissions of CO2. That was a smart ass fear.
I guess just pollution or whatever, making the world like warmer. And I know it's not necessarily getting warmer, but like just affecting the environment. I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's from the emissions of CO2 and various level of the greenhouse gases that they're getting trapped in the atmosphere and causing the planet getting warmer.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The reason why it's getting hot.
Like climate change.
Global warming is the heating of the earth from natural greenhouse gases, I think. Or not natural, but yeah, greenhouse gases, I think. I don't know. Yeah.
The heating of the atmosphere.
What do you think is the main contributor to global warming?
Human factors like human emissions and like CO2 levels and greenhouse gases.
I don't really know if there's like a main one, but I know that like emission of CO2 I think is like a big one.
Good question. I'm gonna go with hairspray. That's all I can come up with right now. Hairspray. There we go.
What do you do to reduce your carbon footprint?
I guess like trying to be environmentally friendly, but it's kind of hard like since we use a lot of technology and everything. But I guess like even just like using those light bulbs, I don't know if they're good for the environment.
I drive a Prius, so it's a hybrid, so I use less gas.
I like reuse plastic stuff. I don't know. I don't really recycle, but I reuse and reduce, I guess.
What do you have a carbon footprint?
My I try to turn the lights off when I leave a room.
Eat salad. I don't know. What is the carbon footprint? This is dangerous to be doing to people.
What do you think will happen because of global warming?
I honestly don't know. I mean, not good things.
Well, all the icebergs are melting, and so like polar bears and stuff are dying, which is really sad, and like parts of the world are going to get drowned in water.
And what do you do to contribute to global warming?
I guess lots of different things. Just using like things we use as like conveniences that pollute. Like I use like plastic or whatever, things like that. They're just pollutants.
Checking farms. Yeah, those types of things. Often there's like little things that we don't really think of. Often contribute. But then also like if everyone, heads back on like the little things like that can help out. That's it.
I feel like just living, period. I say, I'm a consumer, so anything that I buy probably isn't all that helpful to the environment.
What if it's like an option for his cannibalism?
That's it.
His cannibalism.
The Earth's climate has fluctuated, cycling from ice ages to warmer periods. But in the last century, the planet's temperature has risen unusually fast, about 1.2 to 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Scientists believe it's human activity that's driving the temperatures up, a process known as global warming. Ever since the Industrial Revolution began, factories, power plants, and eventually cars have burned fossil fuels such as oil and coal. releasing huge amounts of carbon dioxide and other gases into the atmosphere. These greenhouse gases trap heat near the Earth through a naturally occurring process called the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect begins with the sun and the energy it radiates to the Earth. The Earth and the atmosphere absorb some of this energy, while the rest is radiated back into space. Naturally occurring gases in the atmosphere trap some of this energy and reflect it back, warming the Earth. Scientists now believe that the greenhouse effect is being intensified by the extra greenhouse gases that humans have released. Evidence for global warming includes both a long-term warming trend and several recent years that have broken the record for the warmest year in measured history. Meanwhile, readings taken from ice cores show that the greenhouse gases carbon dioxide and methane have hit their highest levels in the past 420,000 years. Arctic sea ice is also shrinking. According to NASA studies, the extent of Arctic sea ice has declined about 10% in the last 30 years. As long as industrialized nations continue current patterns of energy usage and developing countries increase their fossil fuel consumption, the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere will continue to rise. Researchers predict that temperatures will increase about 2 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit by the end of the century. What's less certain is what rising temperatures mean for the planet. Some climate models predict subtle changes. Others forecast rising sea levels, which could flood coastal areas around the world. Weather patterns could change, making hurricanes more frequent. Severe droughts could become more common in warm areas, and species unable to adapt to the changing conditions could face extinction. Although much remains to be learned about global warming, many organizations advocate cutting greenhouse gas emissions to reduce the impact of global warming. Consumers can help by saving energy around the house, switching to compact fluorescent light bulbs, and driving fewer miles in the car each week. These simple changes may help keep the Earth cooler in the future.
Hey Ebony, do you know anything about reducing your carbon footprint?
I do! Girl, recycle! Manufactured products produce 4 to 8 pounds of CO2 per manufactured product. Recycle instead.
I think I'm gonna drive to Cool Beans.
Bitch, walk. 1 gallon of gas produces 20 pounds of CO2. Walk or carpool with friends. For a women's choir thing? Did you turn out that light? Turning out the light saves money and energy. I love wood, and trees absorb CO2 during photosynthesis, so go out and plant a tree. I'm Ebony Wood, and you know who would reduce their carbon footprint? You would.